What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are at Hollywood Forever Cemetery and we're getting ready to go through the Cathedral Mausoleum. Now, I did a voiceover on this video just because they were preparing for an evening event outside the mausoleum that evening, and there was a lot of noise coming in which messed up the original audio to this video. So let's get on in there and see what we can see. These little side rooms here were beautiful. There's one coming up that the stained glass is awesome in there. That's the one I'm talking about. Sun was coming through that day right there a little bit. It was looking good. Scaffolding there because it looked like they were doing some work to the ceiling in there. I think they were painting or they were doing something. And then let's go down this corridor and see what we got going on. Here we have the final resting place of David White. He was an actor, 1916 to 1990. It says, a bronze bust of David White is in a niche near Rudolph Valentino's Crypt. White's most famous role was playing Larry Tate, Darren Stevens' boss on the TV show Bewitched. His son Jonathan is also here, having died 2 years before his father as a passenger on the ill-fated Pan Am Flight 103. There's a little bit of the inside of his niche there. And there is his son that died a couple years before him. And they say the bronze bust inside there is actually a cast of his face that they had done for the TV show Bewitched, for some kind of an effect they were doing for an episode. Here we have the final resting place of Rudolph Valentino, 1895 to 1926. Valentino, the great Italian lover of the silent screen, came to America when he was just 18. He supported himself in Los Angeles by acting in small roles and teaching the tango to doting older women. He appeared in a film that caught the attention of screenwriter June Mathis, who felt Valentino would be perfect for her script for The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Four Horsemen was released in 1921 and made Valentino an international star. Over the next 5 years, Valentino had more hits, but was usually on the verge of bankruptcy due to his lavish lifestyle and expensive divorces. He died suddenly at the age of 31 from a ruptured appendix. So that is a little bit on Rudolph Valentino, silent film actor. Young when he died. And as you can see, people visit. I Googled who was the most famous person at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and Rudolph Valentino came up as the most famous person there. Definitely that day when I was visiting, there was a lot of people coming to visit as well. A lot of people, as you can see, have left little cards, drawings, pictures, flowers. He still gets a lot of visitors. I can't even count the amount of people that day that were in there going to see him when I was in there filming this video. Here's the final resting place of actor Peter Finch, 1916 to 1977. An Australian-born actor, Peter Finch was the first person to win an acting role after his death. It was awarded for the role of unstable TV anchorman Howard Beale in 1976's Network. Beale's signature line, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore," has entered the popular lexicon. Finch made films and appeared on radio regularly during the 1930s and 1940s. He caught the attention of Laurence Olivier, who encouraged him to move to London. Despite suffering from stage fright, Finch would make the occasional Hollywood film during this period of his life and was primarily based in England. He first achieved international stardom playing in The Nun Story, 1957. He died after suffering a massive heart attack in the lobby of the Beverly Hills Hotel at the age of 60. Here's the final resting place of Elmer Berger, 1891 to 1952. And what I found on him was, it says, every time someone safely changes lanes on the freeway after using their indicator, they could thank Elmer Berger, the inventor of the turn signal. He called his invention the cop spotter. So that's a little bit of interesting info. He created the turn signal. There were other actors in here I wasn't able to get to. That day that I filmed this video, I basically went to the people that interested me or who I knew. So we'll have a return visit someday to this mausoleum. A lot of interesting stones in here, so I'm just kind of walking through, stopping and looking at the more interesting ones, like this one right here. And here is the final resting place of Helen Chandler. She was best known playing the role of Mina in the 1931 movie Dracula with Bela Lugosi. Now, recently she was just put into the mausoleum here. I do believe she was locked away in a vault somewhere after she was cremated. For years and years, I guess her remains were unclaimed. And it was Arthur Dark from the channel Hollywood Graveyard that started a fundraiser and got her a spot here in the Cathedral Mausoleum. So hats off to Arthur Dark for that. Sad story. I can't, believe there was no family around to place her somewhere, but that's how it went down from what I understand. So thank you to Arthur for doing that. And I know Arthur was getting somebody else put in there too, Edmund Gwynn, which he did recently as well. And there's a picture of her and Bela Lugosi in there. This one was very interesting because of the color. It stood out to me. And it looks like the gentleman is still alive. Looks like there's no death date on it, just a birth date. Just kind of walking around in here towards the end there, kind of looking around. Like I said, there's some people in this mausoleum that I didn't look up, just because that day when I filmed this video, it was the last video of the day that I filmed and I had to go. But like I said, it's more than enough excuse to go back. There was a lot of, in certain areas like this right here, a lot of just like light coming through the skylights and the stained glass windows, and it was really, really beautiful in there. Here's a cenotaph here for Toto from The Wizard of Oz, 1933 to 1945. And it says, and what I found out about Toto was, it's not just humans who have cenotaphs at Hollywood Forever. No one-hit wonder dog, Terry appeared in over a dozen films in the career, opposite A-listers like Shirley Temple and Spencer Tracy, but in the role of Toto for The Wizard of Oz in 1939 that she has best remembered. Despite reportedly having a higher salary than each of the Munchkins, the film was a difficult experience for Terry, who got her leg broken when stepped on by Winkelgard. Terry died in 1945, and her trainer Carl Spitz chose to bury her outside his dog training school in Studio City. Her eternal rest will last just over 13 years until Caltrans obliterated the neighborhood to make way for the new Ventura Freeway. Oh man. So basically they built a freeway over her grave that used to be property owned by her trainer. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I did the best I could with a voiceover. Wasn't perfect, but we got it done. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon. Therefore, you can be notified of all of my future uploads, guys. It was a pleasure, and I will talk to you later.